It's not a normal world. It's Taskmaster world, and welcome to today's video. You're probably wondering, Tom, what's this in your hand? Well, it's my phone using a microphone. Now, I was trying to get a stand for it and all that, but it doesn't capture my audio quality that well because I don't have a stand so I can hold it like that. So I'm gonna have to hold it in my hand. My iPad is here, so I have my notes. So I have what I've wrote on it, like what items they've brought, what they've done. Now today we're reviewing Taskmaster UK New Year's Treat 2022. It aired last night, 9 PM, and what can I say? It was amazing. So now I'm not going to pronounce the first name because I'm going to get it wrong for definite, but because in the UK she's a baroness. So I'm just going to call her Baroness. I think she's called Sadia. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so I'll just call her the Baroness because she's called Baroness Varsi. Her last name is Varsi. So I'll just call her the Baroness because then there's no problems. So the contestants were the Baroness, Lady Leisha, Johnny Peacock, Claudia Winkleman, and Adrian Charles. In the studio, there was Baroness, Lady Leisha, Aaron Davis, Claudia Winkleman, and Adrian Charles. Johnny Peacock was ill during the filming days. Hopefully he's better now, in the filming days of the studio. Now this is one episode, and you're never going to see these lot again. Aaron Davis will no doubt making more appearances. He'll be a Al Murray of the Channel 4 era. Now, the prize task was to bring the most unwielding, beguiled, shiny thing. I'm not sure what beguiled means, but I just wrote down most shiny thing because I didn't know how to spell it now. The Baroness brought in a Christmas tree with a story behind it, which was that she never celebrated Christmas. Lady Leisha brought in a MOBO award, which is, if you're not from the UK, it's an award that musicians get, I think. I'm not too up to date with the musician awards. I only know about the Academy Awards, the Oscars, the BAFTAs, the TV Choice Awards, and all the other TV awards. Johnny Peacock brought in a copper-plated, it's part of the Olympic torch that they run around with from the London 2012 Olympics. Claudia Winkleman brought in I'm spelling it wrong. This is why I don't know the answer, because I spelled it wrong. But it was a fountain with a rubber ducky on it. And Adrian Charles brought in a tea urn and something else, but I don't remember that. Even though I heard the Taskmaster podcast this morning on the episode with the winner of the episode in. Now the first task number 1 was to put the egg in the egg cup in the most daring way. I've got to say, it was a very good task. It's back with a simple task, which is what you want, because you want to see how the celebrities, how the non-comedians are gonna do a simple task. Now, I'll put it in the best way possible. Adrian Charles did it the best way possible. Or not the best way, but in a interesting and comical way. So he could be in the podcast, he said he's only seen one episode of Taskmaster before he'd actually went off to film in the Taskmaster house. So he took his trousers off and crawled on the floor with the egg in his mouth. Daring? Yes, because you might graze your knees. And the other daring bit is if you accidentally, because the egg's not cracked, not cooked, which is what the Baroness did. She properly cooked it, boiled it. So if he had bitten down, that egg would have cracked and he would have been disqualified. Baroness Varsi, she put on a costume of a superhero and had this it was a remote controlled car but with a rat on it. So the remote controlled rat. Now I think that's a little bit weird. where do you buy remote controlled rats from? Like, it looked like they had skinned a remote controlled car, like the roof of it, took the roof off and put a rat on it. It seemed like something you would see in Taskmaster New Zealand or in any other country, but it was a very interesting way because where all the others are in showbiz technically, because Johnny Peacock's an athlete, she's a political figure. She's in the political sphere, and so she's been on comedy shows that are sort of political, like Last Leg, today, yesterday, the day before, and Have I Got News for You? So they're like political type programs that have political elements in them. But this is a non-political show, so it's interesting to see her in a non-political light, which is rather funny because you would never expect her to think, oh, I know what I'll do. I get a remote controlled rat. That's not a rat noise at all. A rat noise is like, oh no, that's a mouse. What noise does a rat make? Leave it in the comment section down below. Lady Leisha got Alex to go to the shops and buy some oak smoked salmon. Oak smoked salmon. Never had oak smoked salmon, but I love salmon. And for anyone that doesn't know what Beyblades are, they're a toy that's like in a sort of circular shape that you pull the cord with and it goes and it spins. I think the only countries I know that have Beyblades are the UK and America. I'm not sure if it's around the world, so I might have just explained what a Beyblade is to people that already know what a Beyblade is. So I do apologise if you already know what a Beyblade is. But I don't know why she would think oak smoked salmon would automatically work as a Beyblade, because she wanted to wrap it around the egg to make it spin. And what I would have done is what the Baroness did, which was simply boil the egg first, so that if you do drop it, it doesn't crack, and then try the oak smoked salmon and spin it and try and sort of not crack the egg, because I don't think I would be fast enough. I wouldn't be like Lady Leisha where she ran around the corner and caught it before it fell on the floor. I wouldn't be that fast. Now you had to try and get it in an egg cup. So to try and make it spin into an egg cup wasn't a good idea in the first, unless you had the egg cup on the floor and the egg on the floor. But she was in the lab, so it meant that the egg cup was on the table in the lab. I just think she had the worst method, and I don't know why oak smoked salmon was the best, because she ate it. She ate the salmon to start off with, like a little bit of it. But according to Ed Gamble on the Taskmaster podcast, was on Celebrity UK MasterChef, which isn't that great. I prefer Australian and every other country's MasterChef more than the UK's. Which will be a whole separate video on the weird side. Stay tuned for that. It's at the third channel if you were curious. That she eats salmon like 3 times a day or something. This oak smoked salmon, which is a special type of salmon apparently, but I don't know much about that. Now, we move on to Johnny Peacock. Johnny Peacock couldn't defend himself in the studio, which is something I wasn't too best pleased with for this episode, because I feel like Alan didn't have as much to do. He did at the very end with the live task, but he didn't have much to do, and he was criticising Johnny and went, oh, I would have done it like this, which sort of, I feel like didn't work overall, but we'll get onto that when we talk about the live task. Now, he played it like a tennis ball and got a Tudor-esque tennis racket and batted it down this tube and rolled it into the egg cup. And I don't know if the egg cup was on fire, but there was something near it on fire. It's weird. And it cracked at the end, so sadly he was disqualified, which, fair enough. because the rules was if you crack it, you get disqualified. So anyway, Claudia Winkleman, on the other hand, did something even ridiculous now. I interviewed Alex Horn last year in January of 2021. Now it's 2022. And he said the cow was called Linda because Ryland's mum's called Linda. And so they've named the cow after Ryland's mum from the New Year's treat 2021, I think. Well, Channel 4 have just done New Year's specials of Taskmaster, which has given it their own little unique spin on it. Because since Channel 4's had Taskmaster UK, we've had a podcast hosted by Ed Gamble, we've had New Year's treats, and they brought back the champion, and we've had 3 series. No difference. If the BBC had it, you would have no ad breaks, more room for tasks, because you would have a longer show. So if the BBC did want to buy Taskmaster UK, I would recommend it, because it meant that you wouldn't have to waste the time for the adverts. So that there'd be, instead of having 3 tasks and a live, you could have 4 tasks and a live, or 5 tasks and a live, including the prize task, because the BBC would give you longer because there's no adverts. But I see why there's adverts, because then it could break up. Like, we'll see you back in, however, and you could like have a mini break, because that's how the filming works. You finish filming, so that if one of them needs a bathroom, or they need a drink, or need refreshments, or something's gone wrong, they've got that time to fix it, where they would have the ad break. It's not filmed live, no. Claudia Winkleman threw the egg onto the cow but missed. So she put the egg cup on the cow, but she threw it too high and it landed on the grass. Now, eggs don't smash on grass, apparently, according to, I think it was Alex, or was it Greg? One of them said that the egg doesn't smash, when you hit grass, which I did not know. So you learn something new every day, even when you're watching a comedy like Taskmaster UK. Yo, I don't know why I did a goofy impression. Yo, Taskmaster. Yo, no, I'm gonna stop doing impressions of Goofy now. Imagine that, a cartoon special of Taskmaster. Some fan out there needs to just do an animated Taskmaster and get a voice impressionist to be Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and Daffy Duck. I don't care who's in it. I want a cartoon version of Taskmaster. Viewers, do it, because I've got nearly 2.15k subscribers. So viewers, if you're watching this, and if you can animate, please go and animate cartoon Taskmaster. Thank you. Bye. I don't know why I said bye, but I was telling the viewers to toggle off, pause the video, go and do that, and come back. Now, she didn't do very well, but she did end up getting it in the Egg Cup. We've already spoke about Adrian Charles. So, which one? Because I don't do the scores on here. Oh, I got 4 points, he got 5. I'm just telling the events as it happened. Now, out of those, who was my favourite? Was it Baroness, Lady Leisha, Peacock, or Charles or Winkleman? Was it Baroness, Leisha, Johnny, Claudia, or Adrian? Well, drum roll please. Adrian Charles. He did the best because it was funny, and it was just out of the blue where the others were trying to be daring. It didn't look daring, but it was daring at the same time. So, well done, Adrian Charles. You have been Tom's favourite competitor in task number 1. In task number 1. Task number 1. Task number 1. Woo! 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 Singing to make the video longer. Not because I want the video longer, just because then the video is more interesting and there's more different screenshots. I'm just going to do some thumbnail posing now for a few seconds. So, whilst I sing along, here's some thumbnail posing. Do 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 do. There you go, thumbnail posing over and done with. It's what YouTubers do, I've worked out. They pose for the thumbnail during the video so they can take a screenshot. But because mine's different bits of the video, I've decided to do the poses during the video so that we had them. And so that you can soak in. And if you haven't seen it, and you can realise that you've not seen this episode, and go and watch it. Now we move to task 2. Drink all the vinegar. Do I like vinegar? On chips? I don't know. I haven't got an opinion on vinegar. I wouldn't drink it in a cup. No. I wouldn't choose to put it on chips. But if they were already on chips, I wouldn't be fussed. Because vinegar is one of those things where there's just no correct answer. Is vinegar nice? No one knows. Is vinegar horrible? No one knows. Is vinegar vinegar? Yes. Obviously vinegar's vinegar. But no one knows why vinegar's vinegar. I'll stop saying vinegar. Now, and this was a terrible task to write some notes on. But I wrote my thoughts. The Baroness, she drank all the ones she liked. Yes, she did. So she drank some elderflower and thought, oh, that's nice. Drank another one. And she was one of the ones that didn't end up drinking the vinegar, but was like seconds inch, like I don't know if you can see my hand, but very small away from the vinegar, but didn't drink it. Johnny Peacock, on the other hand, knocked over the vinegar and used a straw to drink the vinegar. Would I have done that? If I spilt the vinegar and noticed that there was a little bit left, drink it out the cup, sorted. But I wouldn't get a straw as such. I would, because I have to technically drink it. I couldn't get Alex to lick the table, but I would obviously lick the table just because it's easier. Or as he suggested on the podcast, put him all in a bucket. But what I would do, right, is I've worked out where the vinegar is, right? Picked up the vinegar. This is when you don't spill it. You pick up the vinegar. You put it to the side of you, like way away from all the other cups. So you have the cup there, put it there. All the other cups are in the middle. Get a bucket and chip all the others in it, right? The one you assume is the vinegar, obviously. You shove it all in, and you get the bucket. And just because you can, you pour it on Alex. Just because that'd be funnier if you just like dump it all over Alex. Or you say, Alex, drink that. So whilst Alex is drinking that, you drink all the vinegar and then say, I've drank all the vinegar. Because that's what you have to say for the timers to stop. Which lets Alex know that the vinegar's been drank. And it's because you avoid spillage, and that's what you want. You want to avoid the spillage. You don't want to be a Johnny Peacock and knock it over and have to get a straw to drink the rest of it. But it all started with him using some science, which you don't really see on Taskmaster full stop, science ever being used, but there's, I don't know what they're called, but there's these strips where they like there's certain type of thing where you pour it in and changes colour and you know it's like acidic or something. I'm not very good at science. That's why I don't do science at college. I do media. I do what I love. Media. Because I want to act. Because I'm a fancy man. Media. Anyway, and so with Claude here, she worked out what they had done with the order and she made Alex drink some. She did. But back to Peacock for a second. He worked out, because he might have seen the programme before. Who knows? He probably has seen the programme before. But he worked out there was 85s everywhere. 85, 85, 85, 85, 85. And then counted to 85 and drank it. And then spilled it, obviously. Winkleman didn't do very well. Adrian Child tried to smell it. And then used science. He can't smell, neither can I. So, yeah. And as I said, the best one had to be Peacock because he found the 85s around the room and because he spilled it and drank it. And we all know what I would have done, so we move on to task number 3. Choose the length of this stick and do the course. If you hit the stick, you lose a centimetres. My maths is horrible. So I don't know how Greg and Alex actually do this. So, briefly, Saida, that's how you say her name. Wahey! We've learned. Saida Varsi. She was brilliant at it. Lady Leisha, she ran and then did badly. Peacock, he made it the tallest it can be, but still only tried to use one touch and failed. Claudia Winkleman, she hit things all the time. She did the worst. Adrian Charles, he was not good at this. At it. He was not good at it. So, Zahida, she was brilliant because she didn't hit as much things and she did a sensible route. Peacock made it as tall as possible and then tried to hit it with one swoop. So, imagine having imagine, I don't have anything that's really tall right near me. Imagine this. The phone the stick is at the tallest it can be, right? Tallest it can be. And what you did was you tried to place it down and tried to only hit it once. So he just guided it through, but that didn't work. It never worked. So what I would have done is made it as small as possible and then run. You're less likely to hit something when it's really small, and you can't change it midway through. So, on that task, Zahida did the best. We move on to the final task, the live task, and the first task that let Alan Davis actually do something that was productive and to help the cause of the Peacock, Johnny Peacock, because he wanted Peacock to win. So, everyone did it at once. They all did good. Now the task was choose a ball. You have three. Then turn it. You have 3 balls. You have to choose one. Right. Then they had to turn it into a head. You have 200 seconds. So they had to turn it into the head of a contestant on the lineup. So Adrian Child was used the most. And what's really interesting that they never happen is that when they show up the scores saying, and in the first place, in the leader with only 2 tasks, it's Zahida Varsi, woo! Like that type of thing. When they have the screen on with all the images, what they had done for Adrian Charles is after the live task, they swapped his head with the ball that Lady Leisha, it was Zahida had made the blue ball and made it his head. I thought that was really genius and something that you never expected that they would ever do in the history of Taskmaster UK. So the winner of the episode and the winner of the New Year's treat special was none other than Adrian Charles. Well done, Adrian Charles. He was then a guest on the Taskmaster podcast, which is amazing. I will be reviewing that probably on this channel. And I'll probably do a whole video going talking about Taskmaster products that aren't linked on the show. So we've got the Taskmaster books, the podcast, the website with all the shirts, t-shirts, books, mugs, board games, and then every other version has their own different bits and bats. And so I'll probably do a whole video on that. So if anyone can help me work out what merchandise are sold in other countries, because I know that Sweden have their own book out for their Taskmaster, but if you know any answers, leave in the comment section down below. Thank you very much, and well done, Adrian Charles. Was this a good review? Please tell me in the comment section down below. How can I improve these videos? Please tell me in the comment section down below. And thank you guys for watching. And remember, keep tasking. Bye.
Hello everyone, please subscribe to Taskmaster World.